Hello, friends. All the MBA aspirants who are planning to do their MBA for the 2020 academic year and are planning to write their PGCT of Karnataka, this session is going to be an eye opener for you. I'm Dr. DJ Kulkarni, and I'm going to take you through the introduction of the first part of PGCT examination. Generally, friends, on the question paper on the first page, you'll have the rules and regulations which you have to follow. The examination would be of 2 hours, at least till last year it was for 2 hours. It starts at 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon and ends at 4:30 p.m. in the evening. That means you have 120 minutes in which you have to answer 100 questions of 1 mark each. So you get around 72 seconds to solve one question. These are the rules and regulations which say that you have to mark your OMR properly with a blue or a black pen. Do not use pencil. The PGCT question paper of 2017 was having two parts, part 1 and part 2. Part 1 has two sections, section A and B. Each section is of 25 marks. And part 2 has section C and D, each section of 25 marks. Part A is got to do with English proficiency and general knowledge, and part 2 is got to do with mathematical and quantitative analysis. So friends, find out what's your strength. If you're good at English, give yourself in and do your English part, that is part 1, very well. If you're good in quantitative, give the try there first and then come back to the English. Today we are going to deal with part 1 and section A. Part 1 is of 25 marks. This will have questions on English subject. If you're good in English, you can score here. But what do they have to ask in the question paper? Well, it covers again, but not limited to, synonyms, antonyms, one word substitution, grammar, and fill in the blanks. Before we get on to solve the PGCT 2017 section A, let us just have a small tour of synonyms. Synonym are words that are having the exact or nearly the same meaning as another word. For example, the word shut. So, the word shut has another meaning, that is close. We use this word frequently in our day-to-day lives. We say, please shut the door. And I could say the same thing in another way, please close the door. So here, shut and close mean the same and hence they are synonym. Some synonyms are baffle, confused, deceive. Another word is beautiful. So the substitute word is attractive, pretty, lovely, stunning. Words for bossy. See the word itself, boss, bossy, controlling, tyrannical, dictator. Fair. Fair means not your fair and lovely. It is being equal, just, objective, impartial, unbiased. A word for funny. It is humorous, comical, hilarious, hysterical. A word for happy. Content, joyful, mirthful, upbeat. If I want to say this girl is hardworking, I could also say this girl works diligently. She is a determined worker. She is industrious, or he is enterprising. All are the same words for hardworking. Now, what are antonyms? Antonyms are words having opposite meaning. A word opposite in meaning to another. For example, bad is a word. What's the opposite for that? It's good. Boy, opposite girl. Night, opposite is day. Exterior, opposite is interior. Dead, alive. Pass, opposite is fail. Off, opposite is on. I off the switch, I on the switch. There's the entrance. Opposite, that's the exit. True, opposite word is false. Push, opposite is pull. These are antonyms. Friends, if you can score well in English, believe me, you will feel very, very comfortable, and it's quite easy. You require to read from books, and you can also refer to the websites. Now let's go on to understand some easy tips and tricks to solve the synonyms and antonyms. When you're preparing for synonyms and antonyms, do not prepare only for synonyms or do not prepare only for antonyms. When you're preparing, prepare for both. So when you study a word, understand the synonym for that word and also the antonym for the word, and that will help you to remember well. So let's go on to our 2017 question paper. It says direction, question number 1 to 5. Each question is followed by 4 alternatives. Select the most appropriate one, which is the closest in meaning to the given word. See, he says closest in meaning. That means it is synonym, similar words, right? So let's take the first word, harbinger. And he has given you 4 options. A, harassment, B, forerunner, C, runner, and D, harbor. It can be quite misleading because harbinger is having the first 3 alphabets you see. It is H-A-R. So you are likely to choose A because it is having H-A-R, and you are likely to choose D because harbor also has H-A-R, and that's where you go wrong. So this can be misleading. The correct answer for harbinger is forerunner, running ahead. Forerunner. So for 1 it is B. Take the second word. It's impromptu. So see here, IMP. Again, option number B is having IMP. And option number D is having prompt, which is a part of the word impromptu. So somewhere you'll feel like one of them is correct, but it is not. Impromptu means offhand, spontaneous, without preparation. Impromptu is offhand. Third word is vigorous. Now you see the last 4 letters of this word, rus, R-O-U-S. Again you are likely to write or select option number C and D because it is gorgeous or gorgeous and obvious. Because both the words are having the last 3 letters O-U-S. But vigorous means, come to the root word, vigorous means vigor. Vigor means strength. Strength means energy. And is something like this reflecting here? Yes, it is A, energetic. So vigorous means energetic. See the word grave. Again, grave. A is gracious, G-R-A. Grave is having the first letter G, second R, and third A. So G-R-A, and option A is having G-R-A. So you're likely to tick this. It's not right. Let's see how to remember this. Grave is having 4 options: gracious, sedative, serious, and bend. How should you remember this? Ask yourself one question. When does one go to the grave? He goes to the grave after he was seriously ill and dead. Seriously ill. Serious. So, grave means it is serious. Grave mistake. Serious mistake. So, the option here is C. Let's take the fifth word. Temperate. Temperate. Now, temperate means it is somewhere in between, and hence here the answer is moderate. Number 2. Direction. Question number 6 to 9. Select from the alternatives the word which is opposite in meaning to the word given in capital letters. So the sixth word is descendant. So I have to select a word that is opposite in meaning. That means antonyms, right? Okay. Now let's see this word descendant. We have heard about this word in mathematics. Descending order means what? The order from top to bottom. So what is from bottom to top? It is ascending order. This is a Q. That means try to find out this Q or the hint in this answer. Descendant. A is hindrance, B is appreciate, C is sufficient, and D is ancestor. Ascending, ancestor. समझ में आया? कहीं तो link है, ना? So descendant means my child, my child's child, grandchild, descendant. Ancestor, my father, my father's father, my father's father's father. Ancestor. So here the right word is ancestor. Word number 7 is candid. It is devious, quick. The word amenity. Amenity. इसका opposite है abomination. Amenity, opposite is abomination. Amenity. I have got everything. Amenities. Abomination. Atrocity. Disgrace. Horror. Number 9. Ample. The word ample. बहुत ज़्यादा. बहुत ज़्यादा. Enough. The opposite is बहुत कम. Very little. Scanty. So here the answer is scanty. So third part, direction, question number 10 to 13. Out of 4 given alternatives, choose the one which can be substituted to the given words or phrase. That means a phrase is given to you and you have to substitute one word instead of this phrase. Now, question number 10 is expert in dealing with mental, emotional and behavioral disorders. Who gets these disorders? Human beings get these disorders. Correct? Mental, emotional and behavioral. So that means it has got to do something with human beings. So what are the options that they have given? Anthropologist. Is it related to human beings? No. Psychologist. Related to human beings? Yes. Feminist. Related to human beings? Yes. Cephalogist. Is it related to human beings? No. So the option could be psychologist or feminist. But feminist is a behavior and psychologist is a person who takes care of mental, emotional and behavioral disorders. So you should try and analyze your options this way. Question number 11. The one who firmly believes in fate or destiny. Firmly believes in fate and destiny. Who are these people called? A. Fatalist, B. Believer, C. Scientist and D. Spiritualist. So try to reject the answers. Okay? Can it be fatalist? I don't know. Believer? I don't know. One who firmly believes, so you are likely to take believer. Scientist? Definitely not. Spiritualist? Definitely not. So now you are left out with 2 answers. fatalist and believer. So remember, one who firmly believes in fate or destiny. Is he called believer? No, he is a fatalist. Okay, so it is option number A. When there is absence of government in a country, there is no government, then what do you call such a system? Autocracy, anarchy, diffusion, or monarchy? It is anarchy. Attracting notice or attention. That means you do something so that people will look at you. So the option is A, attraction, B, obvious, conspicuous, and consolidation. No? We keep saying, see that boy, he is acting, it's quite obvious. So he's trying to attract attention. So the answer is B here. So 13 is B. Direction. Question numbers 14 to 17. Choose the alternative which best expresses the meaning of the idiom or phrase. Choose the alternative. तो एक idiom या phrase दिया गया है, इसका एक alternative word आपको choose करना है, which is related to that idiom or phrase. The first one is Achilles' heels. People also call it Achilles' heel. So what is this? Option A is aging, B swollen heel, running away from problem, and D is weakness. Friends, how should you remember this? You should remember this by a story. And what is the story? Achilles, his only weakness was his heel. According to a legend, his mother had taken him to the river Styx, which was supposed to offer power of invincibility, and she dipped his body in the water. But what she did? She held him by the heels. She held him by the heels and upside down, head first, she dipped in the water and she pulled him up. So, no part of his body was sick, but his heels had not got wet in that magical water, and lifelong he had a problem of that heel, and hence it is known as Achilles' heel, or it is known as a weakness. So the option for 14 is D. Number 15, to fight tooth and nail. To fight tooth and nail. So what are the options here? A is fighting with enemies, B use lot of effort to oppose someone, long war, or fighting with tooth. So how do you remember this? This idiom dates back to around 1500 and comes from the idea of fighting like wild beast. How do the wild beasts fight? Have you seen cats and dogs fighting? You must be seeing that first thing the dog does is shows its teeth, and the cat removes the claws out, nail. So fighting tooth and nail means you use all your effort to fight somebody, and hence the option for question number 15 is B. Tooth and nail fighting means use lot of effort to oppose someone. Be driven from pillar to post. Person who is forced to move from one place to another is option A. Option B is driving recklessly. Option C, going to post office. And D is building pillar of a house. First thing, try to reject the answers. Building pillar of the house, not possible. Going to the post office, not possible, because there's in the word it is be driven from pillar to post. So it can be driving recklessly or person who is forced to move from one place to another. So driving recklessly cannot be the answer. So the most suitable answer is A. And how did this word come? An earlier form of the expression was from post to pillar. Many years back they used to call it as a post to pillar, which is effectively the same as a pillar to post. This appears in the 15th century dream poem, The Assembly of Gods. This work is usually ascribed to John Lydgate, although not everyone agrees about this. So first time it was mentioned there. So the moment you say he's running from pillar to post, that means you are running from here to there to get your work done. Question number 17 is ran amok. Ran amok. So the options are A, run about wildly, B, become annoyed, C, become desperate, and D, feel disgusted. So let's go to the root of this ran amok. Running amok, another word is amok, A-M-O-K, running amok or running amok. The first recorded use of the phrase to run amok in English dates from the 1670s. The word amok is from Malaya amuk, attacking furiously. The expression, as we use it now, usually means to run about in a wild manner. As a noun, amok can mean a murderous frenzy. That means you are running around wildly. So the answer for question number 17, ran amok, is run about wildly. Number 5. The direction is question numbers 18 to 21. Choose the odd word from the following group of words. Very interesting. This, they would like to find out how your mind works. So it is like pick the odd man out. So question number 18 is A, flash memory, B, RAM, C, hard disk, and D is DVD. So here all are secondary memory except the RAM. Okay, all are secondary memory except the RAM. So RAM is the answer. 19th, play. A is play, B is comedian, C is exercise, and D is amusement. Okay, so what do? A, you play for fun. B, comedian, a person you enjoy. C, exercise for health. D, amusement for fun. Sometimes questions like this can put you in the frenzy, and you are likely to go wrong here, because it is the rationally how we think. As per me, I'll say exercise is the odd one out, because play is for fun, comedy is for fun, and amusement is for fun. Somebody may say that comedian is a person, play, exercise, and amusement are acts. So comedian is the odd man out. You'll have to be a little careful in such questions. Question number 20. A is monarch, B is crown, C is scepter, and D is farmer. So which is the odd one here? Monarch is a person, crown a thing, farmer a person. So scepter is a stick or a club. This is the only thing that is odd here. 21. Fog, rain, mist, and cloud. Pick the odd one out. So what is the logic? Fog, ground level. Rain falls on the ground. Mist, ground level. Cloud is in the sky. So cloud is the odd one out. Question number 22 to 25. Fill in the blanks with appropriate alternative. Here I would suggest you to read the whole sentence with every word and get a feel of whether it's right or wrong. Jane dashed 5 pages when her computer crashed. The moment is when, that means it's past tense. So, if you get confused, put in all the 4 words. Let's put the first one. Jane had already typed 5 pages when her computer crashed. Looks good. Jane has typed 5 pages when her computer crashed. Has typed. Wrong. Jane typed 5 pages. Present tense. Wrong. Jane is typing. Present. It's wrong. So most suitable word or option here is A. Jane had already typed 5 pages when her computer crashed. So A is the option. 23rd. The examination was dash easy. We keep saying right. Examination was damn easy, yeah? Examination was surprisingly easy. So here you have to use the word surprisingly. 24th. The movie had a dash ending. It is tragically ending? No. Tragic ending? Sounds good. Tragedy ending? No. Tragic ending is the wrong word. So it is tragic ending. 25th. My aunt will go abroad as soon as she dash her passport. So very simple. My aunt will go abroad as soon as she gets her passport. So option is D. Friends, this is 25 marks. If you're good at it, fantastic. Section B is general knowledge. The next videos will follow very soon. Thank you very much. This is DG Kulkarni calling it off. If you like the video, please subscribe and put the bell. You will keep getting notifications. Like it. Thank you. Wish you all the best. God bless.